Site-12. Official designation, SCP Foundation British Isles Secondary Research and Containment Facility. Site Identification Code, BISRC-Site-12. Code Name, Bookmark. Founded, July 1, 1871. Founding Director, Major Horace Templeton. Location, South Brent, Dartmoor, England. Cover story, Reservoir, Mod Ministry of Defence Training Area, Grade 2 listed country house. Site function, research, archiving, containment, task force deployment training. Size man-made facilities, area of 1.6 square kilometers, depth of 2.5 kilometers. Purpose, after Site 44, Site 12 is the secondary hub for the Foundation's activities within the British Isles, constructed a few months following the establishment of the Foundation on 29 December, 1870. Site 12 is a heavily secured facility used to research anomalous history, study and archive historical documentation, and contain anomalies of great archaeological importance, working closely with Site 24, Site 91, and Site 44. Due to the vast amount of documents and data collected within its archive, the site functions as the headquarters for the Department of History and its subdivisions. Silence in the library. Found in chaos, times of panic. Full of wonder and old magic, ripped apart from its ancient home. Once left abandoned, and alone, now lies beneath a Devon lake. A pillar in our founder's sake, a hidden den of words and fact. A place to learn, to seek, and act. Its walls, forever, growing strong. Regaining knowledge long thought gone, so come, young scholar, and delve. Here at the site, known as 12. Major Horace Templeton, Site 12's first Director 1. The Department of History (DO) is responsible for uncovering and studying information regarding the anomalous and its influence on historical or modern events. Within its ranks are some of the Foundation's most skilled researchers, forensics, psychologists, and archaeologists. As a result, the department often works with several other divisions, assisting in research, containment, and diplomacy, particularly with its sister department, the Department of Mythology and Folkloristics. Due to this importance and workload, the department has formed a number of subdivisions. Department of Public History, often working with the Disinformation Bureau, this division helps uncover and alter public records that reference historical events related to the anomalous. Department of Antiquity, this division, composed mostly of archaeologists, studies and contains anomalous artifacts of historical value or related to ancient civilizations. Department of Anthropology, this division studies the impact of the anomalous on human society and culture. Department of Xenohistory, founded following the discovery of SCP redacted in 1932, this division focuses on uncovering and studying historical events that have occurred off-world or within extra-dimensional locations. Department of Diplomatic History, founded after the signing of the Dartmoor Agreement, this division focuses on studying historical events relating to people and groups of interest. Department of Anomalous Chronology, this division studies the timeline and anomalous alterations to it. Pending initiation. Site Director, Dr. Vidya Durrani. Assistant DIR of Research, Professor Olivine Okonkwo. Assistant DIR of Containment, Dr. Oliver Jade. Assistant DIR of Task Forces, Lord Rowan Douglas. Archive Manager, Reverend Terence Upjohn. Ethics Committee Liaison, Elena Clark. On-site Psychologist Refugee Mediator, Dr. Zachary David. On-site Staff, Department Heads, 9 Staff Doctors, 46. Staff Researchers, 109. Staff Administrative, 11. Maintenance, 98. Security, 40. D-Class, 20. Other, 33. Facilities. Northern Facility Management and Conference. Sector 1 partially subterranean, administrative offices. Constructed in 1855 by Lord Ivor Harvey, the building, formerly known as Cerulean Manor, is a Grade II listed country house, consisting of several rooms, a tower, gardens, and barns. The mansion was purchased by the Foundation during the site's construction due to its proximity to the dam. Since then, expansions have been made, such as connecting the former servant quarters to the upper sectors of the Central and Central Southern facility and building the site's personnel accommodation in the mansion's gardens. Sector 2 Subterranean, Office Block and IT. Sector 3 Subterranean Subaqueous, Lecture Hall and Board Rooms. Central Facility Containment, Training, and Experimentation. Sector 1 Subterranean, Task Force and Field Agent Training Facilities and Lecture Halls. Sector 2 Subterranean, Laboratories and Workshop. Sector 3 Subterranean, Artifact Archive. Overseen by the Department of Antiquity, all artifacts are separated based on time period, location, and cultural relation. In addition, any non-SCP objects of great historical value are stored here. Sector 4 Subterranean, Safe Class Containment. Sector 5 Subterranean, Euclid Class Containment. Sector 6 Subterranean, Keter Class Containment. Currently under construction. Central Southern Facility Research. Sector 1 Subterranean, Network Isolated Electronic and Media Archives, along with non-anomalous asset storage. Sector 2 Subterranean, Documentation Archive, consisting of corridors of filing cabinets, bookshelves, lockers, and drawers, containing pages of research and data, both Foundation and non-Foundation. Sector 3 Subterranean, the library is Site-12's primary point of notoriety. Overseen by the Department of History and the Archival Department, Site-12's library houses the largest collection of anomalous history within the Foundation and continues to grow too. Believed to have once been a wing within the Wanderer's Library, the library still possesses numerous anomalous properties similar to its home dimension. Its most prominent property is that it possesses some degree of sentience and will react if threatened. Therefore, personnel who enter the library are implored to treat it with respect and care. Southern Facility Monitoring and Power Plant. Sector 1 Partially Subterranean, Activity Stations. Houses several satellites, radios, and detectors which are used in tandem with other mainland sites to monitor the British Isles for anomalous activity. Sector 2 Partially Subterranean Subaqueous, Hydroelectric Power Station. Constructed in 1932, Site-12's hydroelectric power station provides power for the entire site. After several further upgrades, by 1971, the site officially became off-grid, allowing it to continue proper containment without being affected by the UK's energy crises. Since its construction, the station has only received one major issue, which occurred in 1992, when a conference between Site-12 and 44 resulted in several aqueous anomalies breaching containment. Above-ground facility personnel and welfare. Sector 1, Staff Housing and Medical Center. All staff quarters include a bed, a desk, a bedside table, cabinets, and a poster reading "Knowledge is not power. Wisdom is power." Adjacent is the medical center, which contains surgical, dental, and recuperative facilities. Sector 2, Recreational Center and Canteen, located on the site's eastern side, facing the River Avon. The center is up-to-date and fully equipped to make on-site personnel as comfortable as possible and includes a gym, prayer rooms, garden, and lounge. The canteen is open 24/7 and provides meals for all dietary preferences. Sector 3, Anomalous Refugee Accommodation. Currently under renovation. Task Force. MTF Omicron 10 All-Nighters. Task Force Mission, Specialises in the recovery, collation, and preservation of research into anomalous activities and entities. All Omicron 10 personnel are skilled in multilingualism, forensics, diplomacy, and social assimilation. Contained anomalies. Anomaly ID Object Class. SCP-1142. Safe. SCP-1230. Safe. SCP-2278. Safe. SCP-6475. Neutralized. SCP-6916. Euclid Keter. SCP-8125. Gleipnir. NX-02. Camelot. Site Overview and History. Site-12 operates as the secondary hub for the Foundation's operations within and around the British Isles. Following the establishment of the Foundation in the late 19th century, there was a great rush of documentation, both regarding the logistics of the Foundation's workings and the increase of anomalous activity that was occurring following the armistice of the Sixth Occult War. To compensate for this increase in information, and commandeering of several sites, the Foundation commissioned several new sites. During planning, the Foundation discovered documentation from the British Occult Service, detailing a damaged Rosenfortune bridgeway located near the eastern White Barrow, South Brent. Investigations confirmed this and led to the discovery of a completed dimensional extrusion between baseline reality and NX-01, the Wanderer's Library. Numerous bookcases and shelves containing books, essays, and documents were also discovered at the location, along with the noticeable, yet subsiding, levels of thumb activity. Further investigation couldn't find any reason for the extrusion, and attempts to contact the area's landowner also met with failure. Before the area could be classified as a neutralized anomaly, the Engineering Division, seeing the potential of the location's ontokinetic, thaumaturgic and historic influence and its proximity to FP013 Portlands, proposed setting up a facility within the area. After detailed analysis, the proposal was accepted, and the construction of Site-12 began on January 25, 1871. The extrusion was covered up, with the River Avon being redirected and widened in the process, and the basements and servant quarters of the Cerulean Manor were expanded to allow connection to the extrusion. Construction finished on June 24, 1871, and its facilities were open for usage on July 1, 1871. As the Foundation's efforts and workload increased worldwide, Site-12's capabilities soon became invaluable. This was especially apparent when Site Blue was abandoned in 1893 when data expunged for. As the century turned, Site-12 facilities continued to grow. However, this development wasn't entirely by design. In 1903, during an inspection, the Engineering Division discovered that Site-12's library had gained a further 13 floors. Luckily, the expansion wasn't the result of another extrusion, and the Department of Thaumaturgy determined that it was due to the library retaining some of its home dimension's thaumaturgic properties. As the expansion was non-threatening and useful, Site-12 wasn't decommissioned, although an office for the Department of Thaumaturgy was set up to manage the thumb activity of the surrounding area and monitor the library's growing sentience. When the Seventh Occult War began in 1939, coinciding with the Second World War, Site-12 was first told to abstain from any conflict and protect itself due to the sensitivity of its contents. This neutrality continued throughout most of the warfare, with the only exception occurring when the British Occult Service conducted experiments in weaponized thaumaturgy within the Dartmoor training area. However, Its position changed in August 1943 when the Thule Society-5 managed to storm the site, obtaining valuable documentation and abducting skillful personnel. Despite their initial success, the invasion failed when, against reasonable expectations, the Foundation received assistance from the Serpent's Hand. In the end, not only was Site-12 most unscathed, but the Foundation gained substantial information about the Thule Society's plans. The reason for the Hand's appearance and assistance remains unknown. During the latter half of the 20th century, the British Isles underwent a containment crisis. Several factors influenced this, primarily financial issues brought on by the Foundation's overexpansion into American territories and the Isles' isolation from the rest of Europe. During this crisis, Site-12, a site focused on research and archiving, had to undergo several haphazard and rushed expansions in order to assist Sites 46 and 44 in containing anomalies and SCPs, specifically those relating to thaumaturgical, chinook, or spectral phenomena. Though Site-12 had plenty of data on hand to ease the sudden increase in containment, the lack of proper design and the site's location caused problems, including several containment breaches. Fortunately, by the 1980s, both Site 91 and Site 24 had been constructed and renovated, alleviating the crisis and allowing Site 12 to return to its main focus. Since its formation in the late 19th century and expansion, Site 12 remains one of the British Isles' most pivotal sites and has helped the Foundation greatly in its historical, spectral, mythological, and thaumaturgical research. Along with Site 24, Site 44, Site 46, and Site 91, Site 12 will continue to serve the Foundation in protecting humanity and exploring the unknown.